So, a Democratic candidate running in Arizona by the name of James Woods recently made his stance on abortion quite clear. Now, when pressured by a national pro-life alliance to sign a quote-unquote Sanctity of Life pledge, he decided to send that whole thing back with a little something extra. Now, what could he have possibly sent back? You guessed it, condoms. In response to the pro-life survey, Wood sent a letter with some campaign condoms inside. The letter reads as follows, quote, "Thank you for taking the time to write me about your anti-abortion stance. While I cannot support these policies, there are many measures I do support that are proven to quickly enhance the well-being of women and to significantly reduce abortion." And then, of course, he added at the end, "all while being ribbed for her pleasure." I'm kidding. He didn't actually say that. I'm gonna add that. So, already, James Woods. Liking this guy. What about the letter? What about the condoms? What do you think?
I love this. I think this is it's a smart, classy, witty move that I don't see how the anti-abortion group can really get angry. I mean, they might go, "Oh, that's a bit kind of childish of him to do that." But he makes some good points. You know, you provide kind of free condoms to, and you give them kind of control over their reproductive cycle, then you are going to reduce the number of abortions. I think it's a brilliant move. I just hope that he didn't kind of pin condoms to the letter, because then that would have kind of rendered the whole exercise somewhat moot.
Julie, what do you think? You did pitch the story, by the way. Thank you.
I think it's brilliant. I absolutely think it's brilliant. One thing about this guy, he's running as a Democrat. He's in his 30-second videos, and he's blind. So he's representing a very large populace, not just progressive people, and he does seem to be very progressive on things like net neutrality, the abortion issue. The condoms in the letters are just a brilliant move. But I wish this guy lived in my district. I would vote for him. He's an awesome guy. He's taken a bad situation, he's turned it around, and it's just and he's dishing it back, which is awesome.
Oh no, absolutely. I love it. There are some interesting things about James Woods that I want to get into. He's actually an open atheist running in a heavily conservative district. Now, as you mentioned, Julie, he's also blind, and that's because he had a run-in with MRSA. Now, that's why he lost his vision, like I said. And what happened to him is that he was on the job, and he started to get sick. Well, this job didn't offer health insurance, right? He had no health coverage, so he put it off, and then he got really, really, really sick. And he found out he had MRSA. After he lost his vision, he almost died, essentially. He lost most of his toes. I mean, this guy's been through the ringer. And just to come out like this and to have a good attitude, it's amazing. And I love what he said here. He said, "Without Social Security, disability, nutrition assistance, and Medicare, Medicaid, I wouldn't have made it. I would have died." So it really makes the point of, this is why he is a liberal. This is why he's a progressive, because he knows how important these things are. He's lived through this. He's lived through it. He says, this is what helps people. This is what helps keep people alive and healthy. And I want to make sure that all the people in my district and in Arizona have access to this stuff before they go through a situation like mine. And conservatives, they don't see that. They don't understand it. They want to continue to cut access to health care, food assistance, to stomp on workers' rights, and they especially, as it relates to the story, they want to cut access to abortion services, which, by the way, as this gentleman points out, abortion would be reduced massively with access to affordable birth control and comprehensive sexual education. I love this guy.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he doesn't have anyone who's challenging him in his primary for that seat, so he doesn't have to run to the centre. He can stay as progressive as he likes, which is brilliant. He's gonna have a hard time, being an open atheist out in Arizona. That's not the easiest thing to sell out there, I imagine. but it's good for him, and he's trying to defend the people who aren't able to defend themselves. He's not interested in defending Wall Street; they can defend themselves. He's not interested in defending corporations; they have lawyers to defend them. He wants to defend people who, as you said, are on Social Security, do require kind of Medicare, who do require abortion clinics. These are the most helpless people in society, and they need people in positions of power, namely their politicians, to help defend them. And James Woods is doing that, and he's done that by, I imagine probably our YouTube title for this video is going to be Anti-Abortion Group Stiffed by Woods.